Is it showing now?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So thank you for coming once again. So as I said, I guess by now you have a sizable number of responses from your data collection. So what next? That's the most important question. So what next? What do I do next if I have my responses? So the most important thing to do once you have a number of responses is that you have to download it. I want us to deal with the data issue first, then I'll come to the smart PLS so that I'll make sure that we are all on the same page. So go to your survey, which in this one I'm talking about the questionnaire survey within the Google Forms. Go there. So when you come to there, because you did it from your end, because I don't have access to your Google Forms in terms of the original generation of the survey link. So you have it. So go to that and then click on, as you can see from here, click on responses. So please take note, everybody take note. If you have a question, you ask me, you do the same. So you come here. I mean, when you open it, you see this. You see the questions that you put in. That's the title, the preamble, whatever, and then the questions and all that. But if you go to responses, so I mean, you click on responses. Once you click on responses, then click on this. You see these three stuff. So see this, and then you click on download responses. Download responses. So I'm going to download this to show you. So here I have two responses. So once you download and you go to your download on your laptop or or on your computer, and you go to the downloads or wherever you download your things, you see this. Once you see it, what you have to do is that now you have the data set. So at this point, you have the data set. So once again, it's very simple, easy. It's not something difficult. It's not something difficult to do. You come to where you generated your link within your Google Forms and then click on responses. And once you click on the responses, click on this thing, the options, the three dots. And then within the three dots, just click on download responses. Download responses. So once you download the responses, it will open like this for you. Okay. Yeah. It depends on how you captured your responses, or how you have gone about your response, how to put them there, and how the two things. Sometimes when you download this, it will come in the form of strongly agree, disagree, and all that. That's how the whole thing will come out. Okay, you see strongly agree, disagree, and so forth and so forth. So let's assume that maybe I have strongly agree, disagree. Okay, I mean, let me take my time so that I don't skip. So these are some of the things that you see, and these are some of the things I want you to delete. One of the things, I mean, I'll come to the strongly agree and disagree again. One of the things I want you to is the time stamp. It's not important. This is showing when people responded to your survey. That's the time. Okay, it's not something that is needed. So delete it. Then the second part, where I don't know whether you have that, but if you have this in your listing, delete it. Do you wish to participate in we don't need this one too. It's not needed. You can delete it. But I always encourage people to do two things. If you want to maintain all the original data sets right from the Google Forms, what you have to do is that you can copy the entire data set, like you copy this, and you create another sheet and you paste them there. Okay, if you want to. So you just you copy everything, and then you create another sheet, put everything there, then you start deleting. And then you keep this one, you keep the original one if you want to. Or whatever you want to do, it's up to you as to how you want to save it. Somebody will also prefer to save an entire document as an original document right from the Google Forms, and then create an entirely new, brand new Microsoft Excel, save a brand new one, and delete in it. So any of them, however and whatever you want to go about it, it's up to you. I hope this helped. So if you have a question, yeah, let me know. Is it okay? Yeah, a question that somebody is there anyone who has a question about this? So one, delete the time span is not needed. The time stamp or time span is not needed. Delete, do you wish to participate? It's not needed. It's not something that we need. Then you come to the profile. So let's go back to your survey. So I'm using this as an example. Remember, within the survey, one of the areas that I told you to really take your time and get it right is the participants, which in this context, I'm talking about the profile of your respondents. Example, what is their educational qualification, the location, the organization, their position in the organization, or their job titles, how many years they have worked. These are basic information from respondents. This part of the survey, I want you to keep them. Okay, two things. You can keep them on a separate sheet, or you can keep them within the same document. But what is going to happen is that you need to do some descriptive analysis on this. You need to do some descriptive analysis. For example, if you take the educational qualification, how many of them have bachelor's? How many of them have master's? Or how many of them have PhD? All these things must feature in your paper. Okay. To get an idea about how to go about this, you can look at some of my papers in the past. I normally represent these things with tables, but you can also use pie chart, bar chart, and all that to represent them. How many of them? And the good thing is that if you check even your Google Forms, the Google Forms will give you or has given you an overview. So it's going to make your work easy. It's going to make your work simple. Okay, so if you want to show these things, starting from the participant like education here. Okay, this is not that clear because it seems it's showing 50% of industry. Yes. Oh, sorry, because of the number of responses I have. Sorry about that. I have only 2 responses. Yeah, but it's going to show you this. So if you want to use the same and you're happy with this, fine. But if not, within the Excel, we all know this, and I guess you know how to go about it, right? If you want to create charts, you can look up to the charts here, recommended. We have recommended charts. We have the 2D chart, 3D chart, the bar chart. We have the pie chart. We have the line graph, and so forth. They are all here. Histogram, terrain map, sunburst, a number of charts. So any of them that you want to use to represent your information, you have to do that. Now the location, here I had locations like where the respondents are located. So if you also have a situation like this, where you have respondents coming from different countries, you can also represent them. Maybe the number of respondents from Ghana, from US, from whatever. And then another thing within the profile is which organization you work for. So here I categorize them into central government, academia, but it depends on what you have. So whatever I'm saying here, I'm not saying do exactly what I'm because my profile, the questions within my profile or background information of my respondents, it seems they are different. Or they are different, let me put it that way. So yours, I guess, will also be different. So based on that, based on your information, based on your survey, to do some descriptive analysis. Okay, I also had things like what? What other thing do I have? Which organization describes you? What is your job title? How many years have you worked? Please indicate the number of PPP projects you have been involved. From the question, select the project you have been part of, so and so forth, depending on the information for your respondent. So do all that. And some of these respondents, some of you, the information about your respondents are important for your SEM, structural equation modeling analysis. Why? Because I know some of you, you are using something like education, gender, age, and the rest as moderating and mediating factors. So based on your model, you need to keep this. Great. Now let's come to the most important part. And that has to do with, if I go to the questionnaire, there is a session 3. And normally session 3, depending on your survey, will start the position or the place where important questions concerning your conceptual framework and your research questions will come in or will start. So for example, in this study, I wanted to know the critical success factors promoting climate resilient PPP projects, right? So if you take your conceptual framework, you look at the questions that you raised on your conceptual framework. So as far as in one way or the other, what I'm trying to say is that your structural equation modeling analysis, or the analysis that we are going to conduct, is going to be based on your conceptual or theoretical framework that I taught you. It's going to be based on that. And each of your conceptual framework, there must be some questions that you ask in your questionnaire that people have responded to. And based on those responses, we will use them to get the answers that we are looking for. Okay, so here, for example, these are some of the questions I asked. Yeah, so all these questions, the critical success factors, blah, blah, blah. So when I come here, you come to the data, you see that those questions are there, like the factors on recent climate change summit. I got responses 4, which represent agree, agree. Another factor, agree, strongly agree, agree, neutral, agree, the rest. So all the factors. Great. So in terms of this is very simple because in this case, it's almost like I got the numbers. But what about the situation where when you download your survey, you don't have the numbers, these figures showing? What do you do? Let's assume that your survey shows, instead of showing number 4, it shows agree, agree, strongly agree, agree. So what do you do? So in this case, what do you do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to change this? I guess you get me. You get me. And some of you too, your liking scale is 1 to 7, which is some of them are strongly disagree, somehow disagree, and blah blah blah. How do you change them from these words, convert them into numbers? How do you do that? Okay, to do that, because today I said I'm not going to take that long time so that we don't spend that time. I have a video on that. That video is very popular. I think I saw a lot of people are kind of using it. Come to my YouTube channel. I have a video on that, which is very simple for everyone to use. So once we are done, make sure you get this video and follow exactly that. Where is that video? It's a very short video, I think about 2 minutes video or so, 2 or 3 minutes video. Yes, is it? I just want to share that with you. Yeah, so it's one of my videos. Get that video, and it will help you to know how to convert your words I'm just trying to get good. This is the video. So this is the title. So this video, because I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to waste time going through all these things with you. Because if I'm going to do this, it's going to take another quite a number of time, or it's going to take our time. It's very simple. It's not something difficult. If you watch this video within a minute or two, you get it. So let me share it with you.
Link in the group. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to share the link in the group, and I'm also and I want you to also search for it. I mean, if you go to my channel right there, I'm going to share. Okay, let me stop sharing first. Let's see where these things are. Okay, yeah, so it's here, and everybody watch it. It's going for about 3 or 4 minutes, between 3 to 4 minutes. You watch it and you get that one done. So convert all your strongly disagree and all that to that. I mean, help us to know, but it's up to you whether you want to make one. Normally one normally represents strongly disagree. But if you want to change it the other way around, I think it's up to you. But One is normally strongly disagree, and the rest. So do that.
No, please, I have a question.
Okay, ask, please.
So, situation whereby there's, I don't know, there this PhD thesis that I'm working on. Now, what the person did was, I saw the one with the the least mean value, ranking it
Okay. Ranking
like
it as
first.
it is.
So the one with the lowest mean score
Okay.
has been ranked after. Does it mean that the during the this thing, the scale, the one was the strongly agree?
Is it the is the result the person has already computed the thing,
Yes,
and then
that's
the
the
mean
rank.
score,
Yes,
and then the person has ranked. Okay, that's different. I get what you are saying, but that's just entirely different. This one, this one is we are dealing with the raw data. This data we have not done, we have not touched it, we have not applied any statistical analysis, because what you are talking about is more of like the person has applied a statistical analysis of mean ranking or mean scoring, and the person got that result. But this one we are talking about the raw data. This is the data that you have downloaded right from the Google Forms, and we are trying to convert, because as I said, many of them, instead of seeing four, as you hear 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, something, 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 and all that. Normally, what you see strongly agree, disagree, so and so and so. So how do you change that? Because we need to change this. We need to convert, we need to change them from strongly disagree, agree, and all that into numbers, so that we can use them to run our analysis. Because if you put them here in the form of agree, disagree, and all that, there's the SEM software and even the SPSS one, you can't run your data in it. It will not work. Yeah, so I get your point. Your point is a point where the person has converted this raw data into whatever form, and the person has to run something like maybe mean or standard deviation or correlation or relative importance index, and then the person has gone ahead to run them. So that's different. That one, that's another step, or the person has gone ahead. But this one, what I'm showing you now, is when you are dealing with the raw data right from the survey, when you download it. That's what we are working on now. We'll come there, we'll come to that point where we'll run something like mean, and then we'll run them. I'll show you how to go about it. Yeah. So I hope you get it, Ima.
yes, doc. Thank you.
Yeah, you are welcome. So this one, what I'm teaching you right now, remember, is the raw data. This is the first, you have downloaded the thing fresh from the Google Forms, and you are trying to work on it to get it in a good shape, so that you can export them into your smart PLS or into a SPSS or any other software, and then run the data. So now we are dealing with the data, and this is the most important, because I'm trying to help you out. This part, many people call this data cleaning or data preparation. So that's what I'm showing you now. We are cleaning the data. I'm showing you certain things that you need to do. Okay. So as I said, things like this, you have to delete it from your disk. You wish to delete, you keep these things. And then when you come here, you convert all that, okay, into numbers, all the variables, the ones with the strongly disagree, and agree, and then critical, important, essential, whatever ranking that you put in there. Okay, great. Now, what do you need to know again? Another thing that I want you to know, there are also situations where, and many of you attest to this fact, when you download your survey, when you download the survey, you see that some of the people didn't fill all the questions. I don't know whether you made your responses required. Because if you remember, when I was teaching you how to put your questionnaire into the Google Forms, I told you that you have to make sure that the questionnaires, you add something that we call required. We make it compulsory. Let me show you. So for example, this question, when you go down, this is required. This required, if you didn't put required here, it means that somebody can skip answering this question. But if you put required, the person will not be able to skip, because if you don't answer this question, or you don't respond to this, you can't move on to the next. I don't know whether that's what you did, but if in case you didn't do that, in case you didn't do that, then what is going to happen is that some of your respondents will not respond to some of the questions and some of the statements. That's the natural thing that will happen. So if that happens, what do you do? So what you have to do is that then you need to either consider removing some of the responses. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Let's assume that this is, because here, this is respondent number 1, this is respondent number 2. So let's assume that instead of respondent number 2 responding to your position in your organization, the person didn't respond and the person skipped to this question. Or the person answered this, didn't respond to this. And then when it comes to even the responses, the person has responded to some of them, and some of them you can see some loopholes, some gaps, or unanswered statement that the person didn't respond to. So what do you do? So what you have to do is that I'm going to give you, this is based on you. It's supposed to be based on your judgment. Okay, so to me, and from the studies I have read and some of the works I've been part of, I know that when a respondent failed to respond to 50%, so some people, even if you, some people, if you fail to respond to even one, they will take you out. They will consider your response or your responses to be like it's not important. But I know many of you have not received much responses. So let's assume you have 70 or 80 or 120 responses, and you start removing people, or you start taking some of the responses out, then you end up having about 50 or 20, which is not good enough. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to show you something. So 2 things. 1, if they have responded more than 50, and when I say 50, so how many, you look at the statement, so all these statements, if the person has responded more than 50, I will suggest keep the person keep the person's responses in your data. If the person has responded more than 50%, that's my suggestion. But others will disagree with me, which is fine, because some people, they prefer that you respond about 80% or 90%, or even everything. Even if you fail to respond to 1, you're taken out. To me, if someone failed to respond to 1 and you take the person out, then what should happen is that you are dealing with a larger set of data set. Like, let's say you have about 500 responses, 800, 900, 1,000, 600, 300. That's so for that, if you remove 1 or 2, it's not really going to affect your results much. But here is the case maybe where you have about 55. So far you have received 55 or 70 or 60, and you start removing people, then it's going to affect you. Okay, good. So that's what, yeah, that's what I would say. Okay, so Yeah, ask me a question.
So you are saying 50%. If the person has responded 50% of it, you should keep the person in.
Yeah, so let's assume the statements that the person is supposed to respond to, they are 15, let's say 14 statements,
Mhm.
and the person has responded to 7. That's the 50%.
50%. So
Yes.
my question is, so if so, does it mean that the place that the person left blank, you fill it for the person?
No. I mean, actually, it's not allowed. It's actually it's not. That's the reason why in a way, I side with people that's not people who normally say that if you don't respond 100%, then automatically take the person out because you leave a gap. And normally we will see later on, we call them the missing. So I've forgotten missing responses. Yeah, missing responses. So you can still use missing responses data to run your results, but what is going to happen is that there's going to be some level of skewness. It's going to be skewed because here is a case where somebody has responded to 14 statements and another person has responded to 7 or 8 or 6. Okay, so I'm teaching you all these things because I know many of you after this, either I mean you have started doing your PhD or you are doing your PhD or you are doing your masters and all that. Take note of all these mistakes because I think some of you have already made some of these mistakes, which I don't think we can go back to correct them. For example, some of you, I told you to make your questions required, but you didn't do it. So I am 100% sure some of you, your responses, some people skip them. They have, quote unquote, they have deceived you by telling you that they have responded to your questionnaire, but actually they didn't answer many questions. They didn't respond to many things. So when you download your data, you see that many of the parts, they have not been responded to. There are gaps. And it's not good to be using missing responses, missing data to run your results. It's gonna have impact on your outcome. But all the same, don't be discouraged. Don't give up. I know you are going to undertake your masters and your PhD analysis and all that. Make sure the data that you are going to collect to get this thing done. Make sure all these things you insist on them. Make sure you don't repeat this mistake again. Some of you, because I know some of you, this is the first time you are doing all these things. You have never done it before. So you are pardoned or it's allowed. But make sure you insist on this, that all questions, especially important questions, important statements in your questionnaire, make sure you make them required so that people don't skip them. Because once they skip them, whether you like it or not, you are going to have missing responses. And missing responses have negative implications on your outcomes. So that's what I would say for the data cleaning. Is there anyone who has a question? Because from this data cleaning, we are now stepping into the analysis, and that's where the smart PLS will come in. Because as I said, today I'm just going to introduce you to the next week we do the actual analysis, and by the time that we come here next week, all these things should have been done from your end. Because I'm not going to follow up from this time onwards. I'm not going to follow up on anybody. Now we're at a point where each one for himself, God for us all. It's up to you whether you do the analysis or you can even decide not to do the analysis. It's up to you because at this point, it's like, oh, I would say my work is complete. The only thing I'm going to guide you is to take your analysis, look at your interpretations and discussions. I'll pass comments on it, and that's it. But as to this point, it's up to you as to what you want to do. Okay, so yeah, any question on cleaning the data? So these are some of the basic stuff that you need to know. Okay, so let's assume that I've cleaned my data. Let me see whether I have a data somewhere. Let me try and get a better data set. Yeah, let me get a better one. Because, yeah, so let's assume that I have this data set here and I have 345 responses. So these 45 responses, I'll click on this and then I'll open. Once I open this, so good. So this is what I was talking about. So as you can see, the responses for my strongly agree and disagree, they are in letters. They are not in numbers. They are not numerical. So here, you have to find a way to convert them. So I have all these responses and all that. So let's assume I have these responses. What next? The question is, what do you do next? The next important thing to do is for you to get your smart PLS. I'll come to the conceptual theoretical framework, but look up to your smart PLS. So everyone, I'm going to show you how to, everybody download this. I'm pleading with everyone, download it. So go to the smart PLS and I'm talking about go to their website. So everybody search for the smart PLS 4. When you come here, and here, I know they prefer you use your institutional email. Like, so those of you who are in KNUST, those of you who are in Legon and all that, use that. When you come to this, click on free 30 days trial. Please follow exactly what I'm saying and do it. If you do any other thing, you have to pay it. And I don't think any of you will have that kind of huge money to purchase this. Do exactly what I'm saying. So come to the smartpls.com, their website. So when you open, this is how it will open, as you can see. Then click on free 30 days trial. Free 30 days trial. Click on this. So when you click on it, it will bring you to this and it will show you the steps as to get the 30 days trial. So 30 days. So everybody here, you have the opportunity to use this smart PLS 30 days, and we are using it for the analysis. And that's the reason why I mentioned that we are all going to do this thing together. Once the 30 days pass, if you want to continue to use this software, you have to purchase it yourself by paying money. Yeah, that's the reason why I insisted that everybody should get, you should get your data set by this time. So that you use the 30 days. Great. So what do you do? So one, you click on download and install on your machine. And then you sign up for the free trial with your email address. You do that, you just follow it, and then you just open Smart PLS. I don't know whether my listing is still on. Probably my listing has expired. I'm not sure. Yeah, but if it has, I have to. Yeah. So yeah, so mine has expired now, but has it? Okay, not yet. I need to let them extend it for me on campus on Monday. I'll let them know on Monday. Okay, so once you install everything, so please follow this. This is easy. Everybody follow this. So what do you do? Let me go back again. Let me start from the scratch. So you set Google Smart PLS 4. It's a software. It's a software. So you click on it, come to their website. These people are funny. That's my PLS. I'm muscular. Yeah, I get them. Come to their website. And then what next? You click on free 30 days trial. Free 30 days trial. You click on free 30 days trial. And then it will open. Yeah, it will open it for you. And then you follow the steps. So when you click on here, downloading and installing, when you click, it will down. I already have it. That's why I don't want to download and follow the whole thing again. It's easy to install. It's not difficult. It can be used on MacBook if you have a MacBook, or any machine which is from iPhone, and then Windows like the machine that we all use, Microsoft, the Microsoft machine, or any system that use Microsoft Windows, like Dell, Toshiba, Acer. Is it Acer or ASIC? And all the other laptops and computers. So use this trial. So the trial, register with your name, because the reason why they want you to register with your, let me explain to you why they want you to register with your email. Because they know that if they don't get to know that you are the person who is asking for it, it's possible once the 30 days expire, you will want to use the trial thing again. So they are smart. They are very smart. But they know that some people will try to use a 30-day trial option once it expires. So they want to get your details, they want to get your, in fact, they actually pick your IP, your laptop details. I don't know how they do it, but if you try it again, they will tell you, oh, you have used our 30 days trials in the past, so you can't skip it.
I'm laughing because I tried it with what they call it, eViews. You know, eViews, the paid version.
Okay.
Last year when I was running some results, I did a free one, and when it expired, I used a different email. I didn't use different details, my wife's email, and then they tell me that this computer IP has already used that. This is not even my details, but the same computer with my wife's email and data, they're able to detect that this computer has already enjoyed a free trial.
Exactly. Yeah, go and pay. So please. Yeah, that is the reason why, once again, I said I insisted that everybody should try and get this thing done this time, your responses, so that we all do this. Because I know how financially we are all not that great in terms of having that kind of money. And it's also some way for you to be chasing people around to be running your data for you. It's because nobody has time. Me, for example, yes, I would love to help you out, but I don't have time to be running your data. To be honest, I won't be able to run your data for you. And I don't want anybody to be running anybody's data for him or her. As far as this class is concerned, it's not even a good practice. When you do it that way, you will never learn. Nobody should try to run anybody's data. You have to sit down, run your data. Yeah, learn how to run it. It's not a good practice for you to be there's something like, maybe if you need some interpretation or explanation about something, that's fine. Somebody can help you to do that. But for you to say that somebody should run your data and you take yourself out of the equation, I will not encourage that. It's not a good practice, and nobody should try it in this class. Do your best to run the data yourself, no matter how your results will come out, and be confident to do it. Yeah, you have to do it yourself. So every, whatever responses that you have, please use it to run your data. I'm pleading with you. Okay, so get this thing done. Get this thing done. Everybody do it. So you have 30 days. That means you have from now, if you do it maybe for example, today, you have from now to the 10th of August. And you can play around it. You can play around it. One good thing about the Smart PLS is that it's user-friendly. And when we say user-friendly, it means it's easy to use it and run it and enjoy it, make mistakes, correct them, and so forth and so forth. So yeah, get it and do it. Now, what next? That's the last part. For the next 7 minutes, I want to introduce you to that. Then we close. Then we come back next week. So what the next thing is that now I have my data set. So what do I do? What I do is, what you have to do is that you have to import them into your Smart PLS. How do you import? So you come here, you click on New Project. You click on New Project. And in New Project, you have to put in your name. So let me take somebody like Emmanuel. So Emmanuel Research. Maybe that's the name of your project or whatever. Maybe your MPhil, your whatever. And then you create this. Then once you create Emmanuel Research, you can see import data, right? So you click on import data. Once you click on import data, wherever you have saved your data set. Okay, you have to. But there's something I want you to say. You have to save all your data set because data set in CSV. Okay, let me show you what I mean by CSV. So if you look at this, I'm CSV, I'm talking about your Excel file CSV. So if it is not in the CSV form, go and click on Save As. Once you click on Save As, click on Damn good. Okay, so mine is already in CSV. So a Save As type. But if it's not in CSV, just come and search for delimited. CSV, delimited. Limited. Look for the save it in this form. Delimited. Normally, Excel uses Excel workbook or Excel in the form the type is Excel workbook, but the Smart PLS prefers the CSV. So save it as such. Okay, so change if it is not in that form. But I mean, normally the one that you download from the Google Forms, they're already in the CSV, so you don't have to save it again. But in case, in case your data set is not in CSV, then convert it to CSV, save it as CSV. Okay, yeah, that's it. Any other thing that you need to know? Yeah, so once I import the data, it will just open, and then once it opens, so it will come in this form. So let me show you one. Once you import, you see this, and then anyway, I'll continue next week. So when we continue next week, I will show you what to do after that. But another thing that you need to start thinking about is 1, your research objectives, 2, your hypothesis, and then 3, your conceptual framework or theoretical framework. These are the 3 things that I need you to start thinking about. 1, your research questions, objectives, 2, your hypothesis, and then because that's what we are going to test, right? So if I show you this example, or if I use this as an example, this is something like my model, and this is your conceptual theoretical framework. And then these responses are coming from the responses that we get from whatever data that we collected using our survey. And then we connect them and then we run. The relationship, which are the arrows, represent the hypothesis. It's the relationships. Okay. Yeah, I'll end here. I don't want to bother you with too many things because as I told you, we have about
So
2 or 3 meetings.
you are saying that we can get the software for now.
Yeah, for now, you need to get it now. I recommend that you get the software now. I strongly suggest. But whilst you are getting the software downloaded, I want to encourage you to also work on your data. Put your data in a good shape. Okay, get your data ready. I've given you the steps as to how to get your data ready. Delete things like this. These things are not important. Keep the descriptives and all that. The descriptives are important. You have to keep them, right? And then you come to the strongly agree part. Convert. If they are not in words, they are not in numbers, convert them. And I've shown you the video to watch. Convert them into numbers. That's it. And then have your this thing downloaded, Smart PLS downloaded, ready for the analysis. Okay. Is there anyone who has a question? That I've ended for today because you're supposed to do 1 hour. I don't want to go beyond this time. Is there anyone for the next 5-10 minutes? If anybody has a question that you want to ask before we go, that's it. Yeah, if no question, then we continue next week already. The same time. So next week when we meet, I'll show you how to run the analysis, and then the analysis. I don't. It's not difficult. That's why I'm not so much bothered about the things that you need to know, because it's just a click of a software, and the software, once you click it, within maximum within a minute, you get a result. It's even 1 minute is too much. It's so easy. You get it. So that's not the issue. The issue is the data. The main issue here is the data set, the kind of data that you have. Because the software is easy to do it. Once you have the data, you put it in, you click, the results will just come out. So the results is not an issue, personally. That's what I'll tell you. But the main issue has to do with the data set that you have. Because the data set will influence even the outcome of your results. There's a likelihood that if you have a smaller data set, it's going to impact. But let's see how the results will go anyway, because some people have also used smaller data sets and it has worked perfectly. So let's see how, when we start running. So next week I'll teach you. Okay, so you run this data and you have a result like this. What does it mean? Because this comes with the interpretation. So I have something like 0.926. What's the meaning of that? I have something like 0. So and that. What does it mean? What is the collinearity? What is the validity? What is and all that? Cronbach alpha, the F square, the R square, adjusted R square, as we know it in regression and all that. What do they mean? What is the model fit? Model fit and all that. So we'll look at that next week. Yeah, thank you. Is there any question or something that anybody wants to ask?
Hello, Doc. I have a question.
Yeah, good. Yeah, ask.
Yeah, Doc, please, concerning the downloading of the software, where I found myself, concerning the software downloading,
Yeah.
where I found myself currently, I can download it tonight or tomorrow, maybe 2 days time. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You can do it anytime from now till next week. Not like
Okay.
compulsorily you have to do it today. No.
Okay.
Anytime from now till next week. But what I said is that just work on your data. Put your data in a good shape. Prepare your data for the analysis. Yeah, just prepare your data for the analysis. Once you get your data ready, yeah. Okay, any other question? So you can do it anytime from now to next. You're allowed to. Yeah. But some of you, if you want to, you can download it and start running data to some trials, do your own analysis or run some things if you want to. But if not, you just wait for me next week. We'll do that. Is any question, any comment? Any question, any comment? Okay, so if there's no question, no comment, please we will continue next. So next week, I'll show you how to now run it. Run. What do you run? And when you run it and you get the results, what does the results? What do they mean? What do they mean if you have the results? So if I have a results like this, so here you can see some numbers 0.91, so and so and so the arrows. What do they mean? What is it? What is this for? What is it? So that's what I'm going to help you out, because that's also a very important aspect of the structured equation model, because it's not also just about running the data. You need to also interpret. You must be able to interpret the results. Yeah, it's an important aspect of the structured equation model, and that's what I'm going to help you out. Yeah, so thank you for coming. If nobody has a question, I would like to bring the meeting to an end, and have a good night. Please take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.